Whoop, whoop. Real Sociedad couldn't manage. Bruno got 2 goals in the game, 21 total, 21 savage. Bruno got to be one of the best midfielders in the league by far, no cappage. For the second leg, we just recycled the team for the game like Tesco baggage. Whoop! Real Sociedad couldn't manage. Bruno got 2 goals in the game, 21 total, 21 savage. Bruno got to be one of the best midfielders in the game by far, no cappage. For the second leg, we just recycled the team for the game like Tesco baggage. Whoop! Yo, we're back again with another one. This is your boy Firms, and this is the OT'99 Banter Room, where opinions get shared and smoke gets served. Woo! Boy, I'm gassed today. A big contrast from, your Evertons, your West Broms, all of them dead games. United turned up today. We were on smoke. You get me? We served the smoke today, and this is what I want to see. This is how I want United playing week in, week out. Why can't we play like this week in, week out? You know what? I've got my reasons for why we performed so well today. But you know what? Let me just talk about, the lineup. I saw Tellez back in the fold again. But you know what? I like seeing guys like Tellez. I think European football, playing against your likes of Real Sociedad or whatever in Europa League, is suited to players like that. They were thriving and, playing against these foreign teams rather than playing against these gritty, the Premier League's peak. You understand? It is peak. So I was glad to see Tellez thrive. He had space, he had room, he had, to run into and whipping those crosses. And we saw a few coming in. I remember one deadly one he played on the right-hand side of the pitch. He whipped it in with speed. It was drilled in low. It was like a De Bruyne cross. It was unfortunate that we didn't get a head on that ball and put it in the net. But you know what? I was happy to see him have a good game. I reckon he had a really good game. Do you know what I mean? We're going on to guys like Maguire and Eric Bailly. Maguire kind of got outpaced again at times. You know what I mean? Isak guy for Real Sociedad. He's not no slouch. He's a Sonic the Hedgehog type of guy. He's quick. But the beautiful thing is we had Eric Bailly. You know what I mean? Eric Bailly allows us to play a higher line. Do you know what I mean? Balls over the top, all those through balls. Eric Bailly he's got the recovery in him with his speed. So he's able to sort of match the strikers with pace, sort of stride for stride, and put them off. And which is what Eric Bailly actually did. And every time he plays, he has a good game. It's just so baffling to me why Oli doesn't continue to start this guy. Because every time he plays, he has a really good game. The reason why we performed, in my opinion, so well is because of Eric Bailly. Do you know what I mean? And I think he complements Maguire too. I see, that sweeping effect happening. The same Village Ferdinand type thing. One person's sort of, going forward, the other one's sweeping. There's that sort of motion. And when I see that, I know that the symmetry between those two defenders are working a bit well. I see it with Lindelof and Maguire. They sit too deep because they're too slow. They're worried about sort of the ball going over them or getting outdone. Getting caught out for pace. So they drop deep. You drop deep, it leaves you vulnerable for these silly second balls that you miss in the box for the opposition to pounce on it and score in your net, or it leads to all just silliness playing too deep in your box. You know what I mean? Free kicks coming. You're sitting so deep as well. You're defended from such a high and deep line that we're just too exposed. We're just too exposed playing Lindelof and Maguire. They're the similar type person. And I'm glad when I see Eric Bailly in that fold. It's just, when is Oli going to get it? When is he going to be like, you know what? Enough is enough. Lindelof or Maguire, one of you drop. Bailly start game in, game out. As many games as you can play. Do you know what I mean? Let's not worry about him getting in. Even if we're trying to manage Eric Bailly, he's not even getting enough games where we're saying we're trying to manage him. Look at Cavani playing week in, week out now. Eric Bailly can do the same. We need to get him on a pitch. And I just feel like overall we play a lot better when he's on that pitch, but you know what? Shout out to Eric Bailly. Shout out to, who else had a good game? Dan James. I'm so happy he got his goal. He's lightning quick. Do you know what I mean? Against those teams that press us. Do you know what I mean? We don't really have that much issues because we play that counter attack. And Dan James, it looked like Oli done his homework. You know what I mean? He put on Dan James for a reason. He knew that there would be space behind, and Daniel James took advantage of it. He took advantage of it, man, and you saw that in a couple of runs that he made. Real Sociedad were pressing us. Daniel James came in our counter. Rashford got how many times did Rashford get behind the line of Real Sociedad? our finishing was kind of dead. To be honest, we should have won that game, you know, at least by, you know, 6, 7. You know, we had so many chances that we didn't finish. You know, Rashford was like hitting it directly at the keeper. You know, missing chances here and there. And we're just like, you know what, we should have at least had at least 2 more goals. At least 2 more goals. But overall, I'm happy with the performance, man. You know, we've got all of those goals, our 4 goals, and we can actually, you know, look at the second leg now and think about, you know, can we rest guys? Can we be bringing on, you know, we've got 4 away goals, so can we rest guys? Can we be bringing on guys like Diallo now and give him a bit more game time in the return leg? Do you know what I mean? There's things that we can do now in terms of manoeuvring with the team, which allows our players to rest. So I'm happy about that, man. I'm happy about that. I feel like our counter-attack play was spot on. Henderson really, he hardly had anything to do. Do you know what I mean? He hardly had anything to do. And, you know, again, we showed our worth. I want us to be beating Real Sociedad, you know, stupidly. I don't want us to take, if we're going to be playing in Europa League, right, I want us to be, it's all or nothing. Like, if we're going to be playing half-heartedly, I'd rather just get knocked out early. You know, United showed a sign of intent, you know, like, we really wanted to take the cup seriously, we really wanted to go far. And Real Sociedad's not no joke team, you know, they've scored like 30-something goals in their game so far. They hardly concede maybe 1 a goal on average. They're a decent team. They're probably like sitting 5th or 6th in the La Liga. Like, they're not a joke. And United, you know, peppered them like it was nothing. But you know what? That little bit of me is still worried because, you know, like how we handled, you know, RB Leipzig, you know, and then in the second leg we got punished. And I don't want this to be a similar situation where, you know, we take our foot off the gas a bit too much, we switch up the team a little bit too much. You know, we can be punished. We've seen it in Champions League. You know, we've seen us, you know, get spanked against PSG, you know, and like I said, RB Leipzig, and we don't want that happening again with Real Sociedad. So we just got to stay focused, man, get the job done. But I'm really happy about that victory, man, really happy. Today was a good result anyway. Celebrate today, you know, take the W, you know, and we keep it moving, you know. Oh man, I'm happy, man. I can finally smile, man, because the last 3 episodes, man, it's been stress. It's been stress. Do you know what I mean? We needed this. I was happy to see Diallo on the bench and coming on for some game time. I was happy to see Shortire, you know, on the bench as well. These guys are getting closer. They're getting closer. You might see Shortire in the next game. You know, the second leg. You might see him. He's been killing it in the under 23s. Diallo has obviously been killing it in the under 23s, so it didn't take too long before he started training with the first team straight away. But I'm happy, man. I'm happy that, you know, these guys are doing well. They're moving up, progressing, and hopefully these guys can start breaking into the first team, you know, and giving Oli, you know, something to think about, giving him something to scratch his head over. But, you know, on the negatives, I would say that Martial again, he's turning into sort of like a Firmino, where, you know, he's got good, decent hold-up play and stuff like that. But you're not even in the Premier League. You're outside of the Premier League. You're in Europa League now. Like, surely, man, you know, when you're getting scorelines of 4-0, you want to see guys like Martial there. He's a striker. He's one of the strikers. He needs to be there. Do you understand? He needs to be there. I don't want to be seeing, like, you know, guys like Bruno getting all of the goals. Martial, we need you to chip in. We need you to chip in, Martial, man, because without your goals, how are we going to be able to sustain that? Our goals are drying up now. You know, if it wasn't for the 9 goals that we scored against Southampton, our goal difference won't be looking that great. Our goals scored wouldn't be looking so great. And even with those 9 goals, how many goals did Martial get? You would have at least expected Martial to get, actually, to be fair, tell a lie, Martial did get a few goals. So I'm chatting. He did get a few goals. He got at least 2 or 3. I think he got about 2 or something. He did get a few goals, but I mean, I just want him to be scoring consistently, and our goals is drying up, you know. It's Bruno and Rashford where most of our goals is now. I don't know how many Rashford's got, 16 in all comps or 17 or something like that. Bruno's got like 20 odd. That's where majority of our goals are coming. create more across the team. So hopefully Martial, steps up, man. We needed to kick in to get, especially with Pogba being out, creativity's low. We needed to come from somewhere, man. Look, I was watching that Dortmund versus Sevilla game, and one of the reasons why I was watching that, because obviously Sancho, we missed out on that Bellingham guy. I wanted to see him perform as well. Koundé for Sevilla, the centre back, I wanted to watch him. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of people. Obviously Haaland, he was doing his thing, he done dirt as well, he killed that game. Sancho looked flames in that game against Sevilla, and that creativity, man, we need it at United. He's a proper guy, takes on guys, beats them with ease, has a final pass, final deliveries there, more efficiency than what we've got in our team. We need him, and it just raised that question mark again about obviously our priorities are centre back, and we need a central defensive midfielder. We need a centre back, like I said, but I feel like we also need that more creative flair up top, because we've scored. It's misleading because we have scored 50 plus goals in the Premier League or whatever, but they've come in like almost a fifth of that was against Southampton, if you put things into perspective. And what we need to be doing is having we need to be having goals, but more consistently spread out across each team, rather than just having like 4 against this team and then 1 in one game and then 0-0 in another game. It's just not consistent. It's almost like some Lukaku type style attack that we got going on. We don't need that. We need consistency across the board. And I think someone like Sancho could help us do it. I think a better defense will help us do it, because it will push us up further. A central defensive midfielder will help us as well, because it will allow us to have, a Donny van der Beek partner in a proper DM. You know what I mean? And allow that creative freedom for them to roll while we have a proper DM, that's occupying that role, rather than having, 2 players in McFred doing one person's role. So that's what I hope to see in the transfer window. Whether Oli can get that over the line, whether Woodward or any of these guys can get it over the line, that's another story. But I just want us to be doing that transfer business now, man, because you look at your Bayern Munichs, they're getting business done. They're getting business done. They've got Upamecano done early doors. You've got Real Madrid and David Alaba. Early doors. Business is happening, and I want us to be having the conversations now. I want us to be identifying our targets now, rather than waiting till summer comes and then you're in a rat race, you're in some frenzy, you're ending up like, do you know what I mean? It's like last season, we knew who our main target was, which is Sancho, and we start doing all of this craziness, looking at getting Ousmane Dembele on loan, injury-prone guy, and Cavani was a panic buy, even though he's doing well, and our heads all over the place, looking at Kingsley Coleman. I'm just like, look, why can't we have these discussions now? Make that decision to make that payment now. Agree it, man, and just keep it moving. But you know what? Anyway, that's Ferment F Baby out. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and support the thing.